Shalom, shalom, Israel. It's Shaquat Ariyah coming at you with another one. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out and all big praises to Yahweh Bashimi, Yahweh Shah Barakatah. And shout out to all the ox and aquathas that's enduring out here in this crazy world in these crazy times. Most High willing, beneficial to more than many of us Israelites out there. Most definitely the ones that are keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. It's a beautiful thing to do. I really want to touch on something that I've been noticing social media and some of my people's experiences. Some in the past, growing up. Some of my people's is elders, but things that I've learned that wasn't biblical, come to find out is biblical, is some things I just want to bring out to you. And it's not just for the Eves out there, it's for the Jakes as well. Because a lot of times we get it twisted. We think that only the Eves is supposed to be a certain way, and Jakes is not, or whatever. But the Most High, wants us to love our wives, as so Christ loved the church, right? So let's get into it. Now, there's many out there that I don't know how this became a thing. I don't know, but it's some kind of weird stigma, or it came. Maybe you can put in the comments because I'm not too privy on where this came from for sure. But it's a stigma saying that the men, they treat their wives like lesser than, and they have their wives do all of this, and they're treated like slaves, and I'm not seeing that. Part of it that I do see, to be honest, is the evolution of social media, people's thoughts and their feelings and their emotions into what they see that they may not want for themselves, but they project it onto others in the way that they perceive it. For instance, growing up, I've seen my grandmother's cook in the kitchen. I've seen my grandmother show love to my grandfather in ways that many don't see fit today. She catered to him. She was never a slave to him. She catered to him, and she loved to do it. I seen that as a child growing up. My mom's late mother was a nurse. So, a nurse has this certain nurturing way about them. And that brings the gift that they have, right? Not all have it, sure. I'm talking about the ones that was born to be a nurse, They're like for lack of better terms, the Michael Jordan, the Kobe of nurses, They may not get the best recognition. We see you out there. All praises to you. Saving lives and, helping civilization, rejuvenate themselves, back to great health status, right? We need that. But in the home, our wives is like our nurses. I don't know, like, if it makes sense to you, but if you think about it, when you were a child, right? And forgive me for some of those who not have had the beautiful experience of growing up with their mom or even knowing their mom. But if it wasn't your mom, it had to have been somebody, like a woman that you could probably think back to, or maybe somebody in a certain period of time in your life that you felt this. They have this thing, man. It's a beautiful feeling, and I don't even know if sometimes some even know that they have that feeling. Like, if you're having a bad day and they hold you, give you a hug, and you rest your head on their breast, or the breastplate, the shoulder, or something like that, and you just exhale, and it's a warm, comforting, nurturing feeling that you get, and that's what the Most High wants for us. in our homes, in our marriages, because he for sure gives it to us in his way throughout life. Okay, so I want to start with Proverbs, right? So here's my Bible, right? It's the 1611, right? 1611 KJV, all right? Holy Bible, okay? I want to read something right quick. Let's go to Proverbs. Should we already no? Let's go to Proverbs 31 and 10. Let's go to Proverbs 31 and 10. All right. So what I want to do is I want to show y'all something, and I'm gonna show you why it's so beneficial to have such a Bible. Because when you're studying and there's things that you may not have known or you never remembered or I don't know what have you, and we're online looking at the scripture right here. However, this doesn't give you online doesn't give you a synopsis or a brief insight on what you're about to get into. So I can tell you right here, this Bible, it gives you a heads up on what you're getting into when you're starting to read. And it helps because it shows right here. I don't know if you see very well. You might have to pause it, zoom in. Let me see where we at. Okay. So this may not work out the way I thought it would. But if you could see it, for verse 10, it says the price of a virtuous woman, right? It's telling you what that's going into for those particular precepts. And then if you go down, it says a virtuous woman cares for her family. All right, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm about to put something in your ear right quick. So watch this. Proverbs 31 verse 10. The price of a virtuous woman. And this is what I need y'all to pay attention to, okay? The value, right? Verse 10. Who could find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies, right? Verse 11. Why is it not? Anywho, Shalakia. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no seed of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchants' ships. She bringeth her food from afar. Now, that's very deep because it's showing you a virtuous woman has a price that's far above valuable. Okay, for verse 10, who could find a virtuous woman for her price is far above rubies? Some people don't even know rubies is very, very, very valuable. It's a stone. It's a gem. It's a very beautiful Shalakia. Shalakia. Thought I. Anywho, yeah, rubies are very, very, very special. They look beautiful. I like rubies. And but it says her price is far above rubies. So if her value is far above rubies, that should tell you got a really, really good thing. And it's not something that you have done for her to be that. She is that. She stands the test. She should stand the test of time. She shouldn't give you no reasons to make you feel insecure. She shouldn't give you no reasons to make you want someone else outside of her that's less than her. Or whatever the case, she's your total package. She shouldn't want you to do things that devalues her. Okay? She's your total package, like I said. Verse 11. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no seed of spoil. He trusts her. He wants for nothing. Like he's good. He doesn't need anything else. He's good. He has her. She's not giving him no reason, like I said, for him not to trust her or not want her anymore, right? She will do him, verse 12, she will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. So let me stop right there. What would it take for you? For you, I'm talking to you. Sorry for the finger pointing, but I'm talking to you. What would it take for you to be that virtuous woman? What would it take for you to make sure that, and I quote, she will do him good and not evil all the days of her life? What can you do to make sure that you don't do him no evil for the rest of your lives? I mean, some things some people do because they've seen their parents do it. They've seen other people do it and thought it was normal and okay till they got with a certain person they truly loved and they tried it with them and it didn't work out, right? But just think about it. You say you want this out of a man. You say you want that out of a man. You can't get that out of a man if you don't put nothing in him to do it. You can't drive a car without gas in a vehicle. Heck, you can't drive an electric car without voltage into it. So what are we doing? What are we saying? You can't take and not give. That's not, I mean, if that was a barter system, it wouldn't be a barter system. There's no deal. But to get something, you have to give. And now today, these people is giving the wrong things. You don't have to give your body to somebody to show that you love them, to prove that you love them early on in the beginning. You don't. You're not supposed to be honest. You're not supposed to. You show your love, you show your virtuosity by understanding your husband. And of course, you is always learning. You're always going to be learning throughout the years. We all grow. You know, you might have a system that you're used to with this person, and you know he has certain ways, certain things that he do in a certain way or whatever at certain times of the day, how many times in a week. But it could be a year that could come to pass and something he just might not want to do anymore, want to switch it up. It doesn't mean that he doesn't love how you got him, you know, situated and comfortably set up for a schedule or anything. It's just that he may want something a little different, you know, switch it up. And you are to help accommodate that. It's not about what you feel or how you think in that matter, unless it's an endangerment to the relationship or the household. Then I could see something. But in this case, it's your job to make his world a better place, literally. Because when he comes home, he don't want to hear, no. Nah, if he messed up on something and, you know, life happens, right? Okay, I get it. But if everything was cool and, you know, between y'all, everything's cool, but he had a bad day at work and, you know, he ain't trying to really talk for a minute. You know, he need like an hour or two to kind of like decompress and sort out his thoughts and get his energy right, his spirit right. Don't push his buttons. Why you ain't talking to me? Why you ain't Yo, just chill. Especially if he said, just give me a minute, babe. I had a day. Come on, man, just give me a minute. You know, you have to honor that. It may not be much to you, but it's a big deal to him. And then you're going to be wondering why he blowing up and snapping on you. And it's really not your fault. It's just your response to him trying to get his thoughts together, right? Or things like that. So, you know, the smallest things help. Men is very, very, very simplistic. They don't take, and I know y'all may hear that and you may not believe it, but it's true. It don't take a whole lot to please us. It does not. Sometimes leaving us alone sometimes is big pleasing us. And you know what? You should be able to agree because you get like that too. Why? Because we're human. Don't expect for it to be unto you that he should respect your time and space, but you don't unto him because you don't understand what he's mentally going through at the time. That's not fair and it's not right. You know? So, you know, and I speak to both Jake and Eve. It's not a one-way street on that, but I just I'm going something. I'm going somewhere with this, right? Let's keep moving. Verse 13. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ships, she bringeth her food from afar. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. Now, that verse 15 goes into a whole different level about something, right? So at verse 14, it doesn't really just stop at her virtuosity. It just lets you know that she does whatever she can to make sure that her household is together. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. She's sewing the clothes together. She's putting fringes on. She's making sure that her husband and her children's garments is together and good. She's making sure that everything is going the way it's supposed to go with her hands, right? Of course, time today we could order, we could have something shipped to us. In the same way, while we're out working and doing what we got to do, if you have a stay-at-home wife, or if you are a stay-at-home wife or anything like that, working with your hands is not just busting suds and dishes and things like that. It's also making phone calls and, hey babe, I ordered this for the house. It should be here tomorrow, next week. That's working with your hands, and you should be gladly doing it. You should be glad that you're doing something great for the family, for the household, for your husband. Now, if you don't appreciate that, that's something that y'all got to get together on, and pray and get with the Most High about. Because, you're supposed to be appreciating your wife doing these things for you. You're supposed to say thank you. You're supposed to say thank you. You're supposed to show your appreciation. Because after a while, if you don't, she ain't going to be wanting to do it no more. And the sad part is she wants to do it. Like as if it was you working and working and working, and she's not showing no appreciation to you providing for the household. So she can do what she got to do, and she's just shooting you down every time. So what? That's what you're supposed to do. And men too. So what? That's what you No. That's not the right attitude. That's not the right spirit. That's not. But it's all good when you in the bed under the covers, and then all of a sudden it's back to again, right? Nah, man, no. Keep that same energy. Be beautiful to each other, right? Now, what I'm about to go into now is, all right, Proverbs 31, verse 15. I'm gonna read it again. But remember when I showed you a virtuous right here? It says, Shalakia. A virtuous woman cares for her family. So watch this. Verse 15. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. Yo, that's dope. That's dope. So she ain't just thinking like, me and my husband and my children eat. I don't know what everybody else gonna do. That's your maidens. You got to take care of them. You got to take care of them. So a virtuous woman will take care of the help. I mean, why would you not? You know what I'm saying? Like, you should take care of your help. You should take care of the maidens. You should take care of those that help keep the household running. But you do not take care of them in the same way that you treat your husband. There's levels to it. I just want to make that clear, because you can make your husband feel away if you go about it the wrong way. I don't want to go into big details, but there's ways that you can offend your husband. There's ways that your husband could offend you in the same manner, right? But nevertheless, a virtuous woman is going to make sure that everybody is good in the household. Now, if there's something off or wrong, you get with the king, and he'll regulate. He might give you the assignment to take care of it, to how you see fit. Or you could just do it, there's so many ways. I'm not giving no answers. I'm just saying, like, there's so many ways that you could approach this, right, in this walk of virtuosity. And you can do it with a cheerful spirit. You don't have to go at your help or your maidens or whatnot. You don't have to go out with an evil attitude. Oh, no. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Verse 16. She considereth a field and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hand she planteth a vineyard. She girdeth her loins with strength, and strengtheneth her arms. Verse 18. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night. She layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. So basically, she understands what she has to do in the day. She understands the power of her gladness and cheerfulness into what she's doing. She's not bickering. She's not murmuring. She's not complaining. She's gladly doing what she's doing. She girded up her loins. Pull up your pants. You know what I mean? Pull up your dress. Pull up your breeches. Get to it, right? She she's not a weak woman, for lack of a better word. She's not a weak woman. Don't break her. Don't break her spirit. All right. Now, I'm going to step into another one, right? The next one, verse 20, it tells us from 20 to 25, the virtuous woman helps the needy. All right? I'm roll with me here. Verse 20, she stretcheth out her hand to the poor. Yea, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. Wow. Okay. For those who don't know what scarlet is, let's check it out. Oh, I wanted to show you. I forgot. I wanted to show you what the distaff was. A distaff is like a spindle, a stick or spindle onto which wool or flax is wound for spinning. So let's get some images here. This is a distaff. Okay. So therefore, she's working with her hands, right? I don't know if y'all ever seen one of these. I have. People done got hurt off these things too, real bad. But yes, that's what it is. It's just a stick that you just wind your thread on and shalakia, and you get to work. All right, shalakia. Okay, now shalakia hiccups. All right, now let's look up scarlet for some of those who may not know what a scarlet is. Let's just scarlet. This is scarlet. Oh no. I don't want to go to AI mode. Shalakia, guys. Scarlet. A very high-priced luxury woolen broadcloth, invariably woven from the finest English wools and always dyed with the red dye kermes. All right, so that's pretty much what a scarlet is. It's very nice, very, very nice. Shalaki, I guess I spelled it wrong. That happens. So yeah, it's very, very nice, very nice. There you go. So that's scarlet for you. So she knows what's best. She knows what's beautiful. She knows what will set the home off. She knows what will have her family resting so well, waking up the next morning like, whew, oh, I can't wait to get back in that bed. I can't wait to get back home, and the whole family feeling like that. That's what a virtuous woman can do. A virtuous woman can make you, not want to go back to work. For real. Gotta love it. All praises. But let's keep going. Verse 22. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. So that just tells you her husband is big dog. Her husband is like everybody know him. You know, in the hood, or sorry, some of y'all that's not been in the hood. However, but you know, in your neighborhood or wherever you go, or even in the hood, there's always that one person or a few people. I know him. Yeah, yo, what's up, man? How you feeling? Oh, yo, you don't know him? Oh, man, yo, bruh. Like, it's always that one person that even the elders know and even think highly of. All right? High regards to him, right? Verse 24. She maketh fine linen and selleth it, and delivereth girdles unto the merchant. She could be a hustler. But she's selling goods, good goods. Not illegal substances, not none of that stuff. She's selling things that a family can use, a household can use, a person can use, and be glad in using it. And the Most High is also smiling upon that. You know? Yeah, that's right. She can hustle. She can make some money on the side, right? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Verse 25. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. Exactly what I'm saying. The strength in who she is, the strength in what her drive is for her life. You know, her drive is for her family to be happy, and with her family being happy, her family can keep her happy without even asking. You know, she puts strength into what she does. She takes pride into what she do. You know? And it's honor in that. Strength and honor are her clothing. Right here, Shalaki. Let me bring it up a little more. Oops, Shalaki. Strength and honor is her clothing, right? And she shall rejoice in time to come. I got one more on this one. Now, a virtuous woman speaks wisdom. Right here. Virtuous woman speaks wisdom. All right. It's verse 26. It's right here. All right. She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. How many of y'all? Oh man, I'm so tired of seeing these doggone women talking back to their husbands and not knowing to shut the up. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Yeah, I understand there's anger there. There's some heat there, things like that. And I'm not even justifying whatever the husband or the man did. I'm not, because I don't know. But when you're having a back and forth moment with your husband and he's talking, you should be listening. And yes, when you're talking, he should be listening. It's not a biased thing. It's just that for some reason, a lot of the times when women are in their feelings emotionally and they're trying to get their point across and they feel like they're not being heard, it's a downhill moment. It's like crashing out verbally. It's like a train you can't stop. Like, it's bad. It's bad. And some of y'all laughing because y'all know it's true. Y'all know it's true. But in real time, we call it out, you don't know what we're talking about. Make that make sense. Hey, look, if you offended, if you feeling some kind of way, hit dog holla. But it's facts. You gotta learn when to. That's not wisdom. So, hey, if you cool with not being wise, then you're going to have a real weird life. I mean, shoot, growing up, I didn't know what a cat lady was until I seen one. And then when I seen the cat lady, I didn't know why she would be a cat lady until I learned why some women are cat women. Like, I'm not saying like those that just got like one or two in the house, ain't like that, and just love their pet. No, I'm talking about the ones that got over an abundance amount of cats. And they say they don't need no man. What the heck they need a man for? You know, but they got a bunch of cats and they live alone and they really depressed low key. but they try to hold their chin up like they good, but they really not. They're jealous and they envy your relationship, your life. Sometimes they don't even want you around. But I digress. You got a bag lady, cat lady kind of a thing, but where I grew up, it was always a thing to where the cat lady was just, that woman that just couldn't keep a man. Because the thought behind it is if she'd have had a husband in her life, she wouldn't have so many cats. Kind of a thing. Not saying cats are a bad thing. I mean, me personally, I prefer dogs over cats. That's just how, that's just me. But it goes in the same thing with men. Men. Some men may not have an abundance of dogs. And some cat women may not have an abundance of cats. But it's the thinking, it's the thought behind it, it's the spirit that you have with that. To say you don't need no spouse, you don't need no man, you don't need no wife. Nah, that's not how it's supposed to go, right? So, verse 26 again. She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. Oh, I got you. One more time for those in the back, no doubt. Verse 27. She looketh, right here, and right here, okay, right here. She looketh well to the ways of her household. Did I not just say that? She cares for her household. She looks for the well-being of her house running in decency and in order. That is what she does. Any interruptions into that, yeah, she's static. It's friction there. Because now you're disturbing her peace into her gracious gifts. Now then, at this point, she feel like she may have to regulate if it's being disturbed long enough and nobody's hearing her. It doesn't mean that she's being a wicked woman and things like no. Because the Most High gave her a role. The Most High gave her a job to do. So men, do you understand what it's like when your woman or a woman disturb your role in life? It is a horrible feeling. Even if you're not in the truth, it doesn't matter. Let's step off of spiritually and let's go to physically, carnally. You know how bad it would feel if you spent 25 to 30 years of your life building an empire and that's all you ever wanted to do in your life and you accomplished it. Now you're just seeing it sail off and keep going and keep growing and growing, and a certain person in your life cut that off. Yo, it burns. It cuts deep. It hurt. Sometimes some people may not even get back up off that, right? So that's where that's coming from. That's how she would feel, because that's what the Most High put into her to do, to be a helpmeet, to help you. Don't be stubborn. To help you. I can speak to myself, okay? Because I'm human like all of us. We all have our shortcomings, but it's about coming back from that. It's about bouncing back from that, rather, right? She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. She's not lazy. She's not sitting around all day, like we used to say back then, watching Oprah eating bonbons. She's not sitting around all day just watching social media and don't care about if the household hasn't eaten, or don't care about her health, don't care about nothing. All she want to do is just go shopping and chill and suck the fruits out of your life. That's not good. You can't be idle-minded. You can't be idling in your relationship thinking that, oh, this is going good for me. Maybe your husband isn't saying anything because he may be afraid of your response or your reaction to him saying something. And that's something that he got to deal with. But for you, you should never let your husband get to the point where he can't talk to you about anything, whether it's regarding you or anything else around you. Because if he's saying something to you, that's a big deal. That's a big deal, because The moment he stopped saying stuff to you, oh, you got a bigger problem, a much bigger problem. And it goes vice versa. As soon as she stopped talking, as soon as she stopped saying stuff, don't get brand new. You might have another opportunity to fix the situation, but you better fix it. Talking for the both, you better fix it. Because idleness is a horrible thing. It's hard to bounce back from. I can tell you like this, when somebody's in physical therapy, the physical therapy is to keep your body from being idle. Whatever part is affected, right? Because if it's idle for too long, it's not going to want to work anymore. It's not going to remember or know how to work. So if you stay idle for too long, you're not going to remember, or you're not going to want to be a virtuous wife. So then when he kick you to the curb and the Most High puts a real virtuous wife into his life, you're going to think he's a bad guy. You're going to think, he missed out on a good thing, but really he didn't. He thought he had something great till he woke up. I remember watching Why Did I Get Married? The first one. I encourage a lot of y'all to watch that. I don't really support Tyler Perry movies anymore. I watched all his stage plays when they came out in the early 2000s and late 90s, early 2000s. I was living in New York at that time, so bootleg was a big deal. It's like that all over the country, but that's how I picked up on it. But I do remember Why Did I Get Married? I remember the play first before the movie. But when the movie came out, Jill Scott I can't remember her name in the movie, sorry, but it was brought to her attention about a 80-20 rule. And basically her husband, you got to see the movie, but her husband cheated on her with a friend, right? And a friend of his or whatnot. I think a friend of somebody that he had just met, and she didn't know it, but she was so much into her virtuosity, she didn't see that he would do something like that. He treated her like worse than trash, but she didn't see it coming. So then when she found out, everything, blah, 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 fast forward, he's telling her, the 80-20 rule. And she said, I know about, no, she said, he said the 20-80 rule. She said, yes, I know about the 80-20 rule. And at the end of what she had said, she said, now go back to your other woman, the 20. Man, she was a beautiful, spirited, virtuous woman for him, and he messed it up. But he was basically trying to tell her that he was apologizing and asking forgiveness for how he treated her all those years, and it was bad, man. You got to see it. It was bad. He never put his hands on her. It wasn't nothing like that. It was just, psychological for it. And, I'm just going to leave it there. But, yeah, you have to recognize what you have and treat it as such. Don't burn that. Don't let that go. Don't let that get away from you, because your life ain't going to be the same if you do. All right. Verse 28. Her children arise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he prays of her. So, dude, you mean she wake up and she calls her children and her husband, she calls them blessed. That's love. Because you got a lot of bitter wives out here that wake up in the morning cussing out the family. Ain't did nothing yet. Just woke up. Just ain't in your horrible, evil-spirited feelings. Or if you ain't cussing them out loud, you cussing them out in your head. Or you thinking about something that happened last night that y'all could talk about, get through about, but no, you not done. You're not done spewing out evil-spirited things, putting it into your home. And then you wondering why your home is acting the way it is, because you're putting out this bad-spirited, evil stuff. So she called her children and she called her children blessed, but her husband and the children praised her. That's love. So that's what I'm saying. What you put out, you will receive. You should receive. This is not an attack on wives or women. This is not an attack on husband and men. This is just structure. This is what some like to call getting some straightening. I'm sick of these people who are not in relationships giving all these relationship advice. I'm sick of all these people that have all these things to say, but never walk that walk. Especially biblically. That's why I'm bringing it out. It's biblical. Verse 29. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain. But a woman that feareth the Lord shall be praised. If you don't fear the Lord, if you don't show him love, you're not worthy to be praised. So that tells you if the husband and the children praised her, that means she feared the Lord and she showed that love. She showed her fear to the Lord. Why? How? By being a virtuous wife, virtuous woman. There's just like being an Israelite, there's things that come with that. You can't just say I'm an Israelite, put on fringes, and just say it, but still do everything that you've been doing in the world. Hanging out Friday night, Saturdays, you know what I mean? Going, celebrating birthdays, like putting them up on the highest pedestal, higher than Christ. Shalakia. Higher than the Most High. Celebrating these, Shalakia. Hiccups, man. Celebrating these wicked folly days. Thanksgiving's coming up around the corner. What's today? It's October 29th, 2025. Thanksgiving is right around the corner. She ain't gonna be with that. Now, sure, I understand. You know, you're off of work. Your family's off of work. Your distance family off work. Y'all meeting up somewhere. There's no saying that you shouldn't attend. It's just don't partake into their spirituality rituals. You can stop by, say, hey, what's up? You know, show your face. You know, kick it with the fam. You don't partake in the food. You know what I'm saying? You can stay for a minute. You can leave whenever you're ready. You can stay the whole time. But you're not there in spirit of Thanksgiving. You're not Thanksgiving, shall I say. You're not there to praise the reason why everybody else is there. Say, see, I know I'm in the truth, but I can still rock with y'all, you know. Yeah, you know, man, I'll take that turkey leg. No. You can see your family. There's nothing wrong with that. You just don't partake into the spiritual ritual. Okay? Verse 31. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. Self-explanatory, but I'm going to break it down anyway. You give her what she needs to get the job done. You give her what she needs to get the job done, and her own works will praise her in the gates. Like the works that she's put towards her husband, her family, is in the same of putting it to the Most High, because your work shall not be done in vain. It shouldn't. All right. So I wanted to break that down right quick. Now, what we gonna do is we gonna go to Song of Solomon. I'm gonna read this one thing, and I'm going to let you guys go. All right. So let's go to Song of Solomon. All right. Let me see. Or maybe not. Shalaki. Let me go to Ephesians real quick. Kind of want to jump around. Ephesians, right? Yeah. 5, chapter 5. Verse 22. All right. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the Savior of the body. So I just want y'all to know, wives, you are to submit yourselves unto your husband. Stop acting like you the man. Stop acting like you the husband. Stop acting like you wear the pants. You're not supposed to be wearing pants anyway, but that's for another time. But stop acting like you have that man mindset, that man mentality. You know, some got that man mentality because they do have a job or they have a degree of some sort. You're not a man, though. You're not. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. If you're giving your husband more love than the Most High, there's a problem. If you're not keeping your husband on track with communicating and reading and things like that for your husband to stay on track, you're not doing a good job. He should be self-efficient. Don't get me wrong. He should be self-efficient. But it does help sometimes that, hey, babe, you know, did you read today? Did you read a chapter? You want to read? We can read it together. You know, take a minute out. You know, if you're watching a movie, you know, in between a commercial or during a commercial, pause it. Or once the show or the movie is over, you know, get it in. And then, you know, get back to what you was doing. You know, there's so many ways you can keep scripture in the home. Because that's her way of showing the Most High that she's keeping you ready for him. So when the Most High speaks to him, he will be equipped to listen. And she will not be blocking the way. And I say that blocking the way as far as women is, I want to say 95% of men's wars. Either on the streets or in politics. It could be through influence or it could be through diversion or some sorts of those natures. Women is extremely powerful. On the chessboard, I used to wonder, how is the king the most powerful piece on the board, but he can only move one space at a time? But the queen can move all over the board. The queen protects the king. The queen could fall and the king could still stay up in the game and still going. Once the king fall, it's over. Once he gets cornered in, blocked in, it's over. Doesn't mean that the queen is not powerful. Every piece on the board respects the queen. It's like playing checkers. You know, king, that king became, horrible terminology, became the queen in a way to where it moves on the board. The king is always the king. There's no misconception with that. It's just the way the piece moves, right? So yeah, you know, she has her role into the body of Christ for her husband. The Most High will speak to your wife and give her instruction for you to follow. He does that. She's your helpmeet. He'll give her wisdom for her to put into you, and you can consider. And boom, blessings on blessings. That makes a great team. All right, Shalaki, let me go to Song of Solomon real quick. I want to show y'all something, and I'm gonna dip out. Where we at? Do I really want to go there? Shalaki. Yeah. Let's go there. All right. Let me see. What chapter do I want? Because there's a poem in here that I really need you to hear. Let me see. I think it's Proverbs. No, what the heck? No, it's Shalaki. I'm all over the place. I'm a little excited. Sorry. All right, here's a little poem. Yeah, it's chapter 1. I thought I would be able to go somewhere else, but I'm not. Let's just start here. Song of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 2. Let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, for thy love is better than wine. Oh, let me show you something else real quick, too, by the way, about this Bible. That's so cool. I've had this Bible for a little minute now, but I want y'all to see something real quick. So, in Song of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 2, it tells you what's going on here, right? And I know the lighting is pretty bad, but I want to read something. All right. So you see it says Song of Solomon. I'm going to read this portion to you. I'm gonna show you how this works. All right. The Song of Solomon. The Song of Solomon is a love song celebrating God's gift of marriage, abounding in metaphors and Near Eastern imagery. Solomon described his wooing of an unnamed shepherdess, their wedding, and the joys and heartaches of their early marriage. Key word, key sentence. Their wedding and joys and heartaches of their early marriage. We all have them. So it's not like saying, "Oh, that was just a perfect marriage." Whatever. Okay. As such, the song reads much like a drama, with the action occurring in 3 main scenes and dialogue provided by 3 main speakers: the bride, Shulamite; the king, Solomon; and a chorus, daughters of Jerusalem. A relative, chapter 8, verse 5, and the bride's brothers, chapter 8, verse 8 through 9, also have speaking roles. So, as you go into each book, each book, it lets you know, again, what you're about to get into. So with chapter 1, so I'm reading this to show you how a woman can uplift her husband's life, not just his heart, not just his body, not just his spirit and soul, his life, everything, all on all corners, right? So, verse 2, real quick. Let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, for thy love is better than wine. I know y'all felt that. That's powerful. Because of the Savior of thy good ointments, thy name is as ointment powered forth. Therefore, do the virgins love thee. All right. So this is an essence of what this poem is going to kick off to. It's showing you that when you speak certain things to your husband, remember back in the day, some of y'all may remember, you used to write love letters or little, crush letters, to the person you liked or the person you was, in a relationship with, and you would spray a little perfume on it, it was personable. You put your heart out there. You did that, right? So that goes a long way with us, man. That goes a really long way. And some of y'all only understand that happening when somebody else do it for you, man. When somebody else do it, all of a sudden they wrong, but you wasn't doing it for them. Like, why are you mad? If you know that it can be done, why are you not doing it? Are you doing it for somebody else and not him? Is that what this is? But you want your cake and eat it too. Right? That's not how that works. You have to make sure that you put love into your spouse, man and woman, husband and wife. Put that back into your relationship. Replenish it. Replenish it. That's all you got to do. Replenish it. And that's a great way to do that. All right, let me see. Hold up. Let me see. trying to find it. Shalakia. Um, I want to say. Okay, let's go back to. Uh, all right, let's go to chapter 4, verse 9. Is this really what I want though? I'm trying to Shalakia. I had it. Hold on. All right. Let me go a little further because I know I'm kind of all over the place. Let me go a little further on this one because there's something I got to point out, and I think I missed it. Okay. No. Man. I'm trying to. This is not cool. Shalakia. There's a piece to where she goes into great detail. Is this it? 216. Shalakia. I swear I just had it. I got my notes over here. That's what I'm looking at. And let me see. Yeah, here it is. I had to go up a little bit. Okay. Yeah, so what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you like some descriptive details on the way this is mentioned, but if you take it and you put it into context of your spouse, I believe it should make sense. So let's start with Shalakia. What's this? 2 and 16. Okay. Okay, this is the this is about the faithfulness, right? That's one thing I wanted to touch on is the faithfulness, and this is the Shulamite's faithfulness to the shepherd, right? So you could apply this very well. Verse 16. Let me go down so y'all can read with me. All right. My beloved is mine, and I am his. She claimed him. He's mine, and I'm his. You don't really hear that a lot today. Shoot, man, I belong to anybody. Man, yo, what? Yo, look, she ain't doing this. Nah. She said, my beloved is mine and I am his. He feedeth among the lilies. He good. He good. He good. Until the daybreak and the shadows flee away, turn, my beloved, and be thou like a roe or a young hart upon the mountains of Bether. That's that's a lot of influence, a lot of power to give your man. Um, there is okay. Here's another one to put into context for you. Chapter 4. This one is about the maiden's beauty, right? So just hear this out. Behold, thou art fair, my love. Behold, thou art fair. Saying, hey yo, you bad, you beautiful, you different. The Most High created you excellently perfect, right? Thou hast dove eyes within thy locks. Thy hair is as a flock of goats that appear from Mount Gilead. Thy teeth are like a flock of sheep. Shalaki, let me get y'all there. Shalaki. Here we are. I'm here now. Thy teeth are like a flock of sheep that are even shorn, which came up from the washing whereof every one bare twins, and none is bearing among them. Thy lips are like a thread of scarlet. Remember the scarlet? Lips is like scarlet. Man, y'all ain't listening. It's all good. I'm gonna keep going though. Thy lips are like a thread of scarlet, and thy speech is comely. Thy temples are like a piece of pomegranate with thy locks. Yo, she even said this. His speech is her speech is beautiful. Like, geez, to think that when somebody's talking, it catches you in a way that you've never heard, never felt, does something to you. So just like when you're yelling and screaming at the top of your tongue, at the top of your lungs, when you're arguing and stuff, it does something. It distorts you. It does something bad for you, right? But then again, when you're speaking beautifully, when you're speaking calmly, that voice that he needs to hear within you comes out, and it captivates him, right? And it goes vice versa both ways. Thy neck is like the tower of David builded for an armory, whereon there hang 1,000 bucklers, all shields of mighty men. Thy two breasts are like two young roes that are twins, which feed among the lilies. Until the day break and the shadows flee away, I will get me to the mountain of myrrh and to the hill of frankincense. Sheesh. I mean, yo, but there's another one that I was looking for on top of that, and it was really a real poem, and I'm really trying to I don't know, I can't find it right now, but last one I'm gonna get into. This one's chapter 6, verse 4. This one is the king's praises to the Shulamite's beauty. I'm only reading this in a way to where, but those that has never ever picked up a 1611 King James Bible, I'm just showing you like how to read it and to keep you on track. And you know, it's a very, 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 very beautiful book. And also, it has a little, I forgot to show you, it has a little precepts, it's the precepts in the middle to, you know, move you further along to where there's other places in the Bible that you could find more context to and such things. But verse 4, chapter 6, verse 4. Thou art beautiful, O my love, as Tisra, comely as Jerusalem. Comely means beautiful, as Jerusalem. Terrible as an army with banners. Turn away thine eyes from me, for they have overcome me. Thy hair is as a flock of goats that appear from Gilead. Thy teeth are as a flock of sheep which go up from washing, whereof every one beareth twins, and there is not one bearing among them. Verse 7. As a piece of pomegranate are thy temples within thy locks. There are threescore queens and fourscore concubines and virgins without number. My dove, my undefiled, is but one. She is the only one of her mother. She is the choice one of her that bare her. The daughter saw her and blessed her. Yea, queens of the concubines, and they praised her. Who is she that looketh forth as the morning, fair as the moon, clear as the sun, and terrible as an army with banners? So there's a movie reference, Belly. It's an old New York movie, right? And DMX played the role of Tommy. He had a woman. She was a down chick, right? Like she was Tommy's side. I want to say sidearm, but that was his right hand, right? That was his other half, and her name was Keisha in the movie. No, yeah, I think it's been a while. Anywho, she was a very beautiful woman, but she didn't play no games. She was so fierce that when Tommy brought home his boys after they made a heist move, they went back to his crib to lay low, and he lived in a mansion, but he had turned the TV on. You know, they watching some kind of weird movie, and you know Nas and them, you know, they talking all loud, and Tommy like, yo man, y'all need to keep it down, man. Yo, you don't want to wake Keisha up. And sure enough, they woke Keisha up. She was not having it. You know, she was a real one, but she was definitely down for the cause for her king. So that's what you want. You want your family to be walking right. You want your husband to know and feel like you always see him like this. You always see him in a beautiful way. It's not so much of he knows I think like this. He knows. Yeah, but it's still good to feel it though. You know, because it's one of those things where when you receive it, you know all the beautiful feelings you get out of it. Well, if you're not doing it, imagine what he's missing that you're getting. That's unbalanced. And then when he's short all the time and he's this and that, part of that feeling could be from lacking things from you. You may not think it's a big deal because you know you're not doing anything wrong to him. You know you're not doing anything outside of the marriage that's deemed unrighteous, of course, and very defiling. You're not. It's not that. It's not that at all. It's reciprocated energy. It's reciprocated good vibes and good spirits. You know, you need that back and forth. Sometimes you may not be in the mood to do it. Sometimes you may not be feeling like doing it. It's needed though. And if it's something that he or she has done to block you from doing that, sit down and converse over it. Come to a mutual agreement. Come to a middle ground. Come to where there's a place to where that won't be a hindrance to your marriage, to your bond. You know? So I want to leave that there. And yeah, I'm gonna leave that there. There's so much more I want to bring out, but for the lack of time, I have to leave it there. But I really wanted to just say this because there's so many out there that think they just know it all. They think, oh, well, I could just do this and he'll be fine. He's a man. He could take it. He's not a wimp. He's not a bee. You know, he's a man. He don't need no nurturing, really. Like, what? Why? You know what I mean? What for? Because we come from a woman. Man and woman. We come from a woman. We need nurturing. to some form of degree. I don't care how hard you think you are. The president of the United States needs nurturing. And the leader of the free world needs, no matter what term, whoever's in office, a man needs nurturing. A boy needs nurturing. A child needs nurturing. A daughter needs nurturing. A wife needs nurturing. She's got to get it from her husband. She better not be getting it from somewhere else. If so, then you messing up, king. Or she's just doing it because she wants to and she's a harlot, you know, or whatever of that nature. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it right there. If there's a part 2, I'll definitely give y'all a heads up on it. I'm not sure, but yeah. So I hope y'all been edified. Thank you for spending this time with me and the Most High. He's been with us with this, and definitely check out our other platforms. We have Believers of the Way Dallas on TikTok. We have Believers of the Way Vegas. We have we have Men of Galilee. We have Believers of the Way, our main platform channel based out in LA. We have Rada Speaks. We have an Alabama YouTube channel chapter. Just look us up. We everywhere. If you need to email me, my email is definitely in the link in the description. If you're out here in the Dallas, Fort Worth area in Texas, and you want to link up with BOW, email us or put in a comment. Let's link up. All right, let's break bread. Only to Israel. Much love to y'all, and endure this crazy wickedness world to the end, and take heed to what these scriptures has put forth into your spirit. Yield to it and let the Most High work within you. All right, all praise to the Most High. Shaqua Arayah signing off. Kwam Yasharallah. Shalom.